Hi, everybody, and welcome to Pop Therapy, a podcast where we explore the intersection between psychology and pop culture. There's so much to unpack, so let's get started. Well, welcome back. It's me, Omar, your friendly neighborhood therapist. One thing I wanted to start off talking about today was what to bring into therapy. I think a lot of folks assume that the only thing you can or should be bringing into your therapy session are like struggles or tension that you have in your life. And obviously that's okay. But I also just want to remind everyone and let everyone know that you can also bring in good news. It is perfectly okay to bring in good news to therapy, to tell your therapist about something awesome that happened, especially if it's related to the work that you've done. And even if it's not, I'm more than happy to celebrate with you good news, whatever it is. Again, maybe it has something to do with the work that we're doing, or maybe it has absolutely nothing to do with the work that we're doing. Either way. So if like I've had clients that come in and, you know, they're talking about dating struggles, let's say. And when they come in and they're like, Omar, I asked someone out for the first time and they said yes, I eat that shit up. I love that. Also, those are the same clients that if they come in and they're like, oh, I got a promotion at work, even though work is like not really a topic of conversation, I eat that shit up too. So I want to remind everyone again, please feel free to bring in the wins. Talk about the wins. Actually, and you can spend an entire session talking about a win. I especially love to do this with couples. So when they come in and they talk about like, we had a great weekend, I will basically like have them rewind and talk about all of the great things in the weekend and sort of like zoom in on each aspect or element of what they saw or thought of as wonderful or great. Or if they come in and they're like, we had an argument, but we resolved it like really, really well. You know, there was a moment of tension, but we talked it out and we feel really good about it. I will have them revisit the moment and basically break it down for me, to me, break down what made this argument or this moment or this weekend different from other weekends? What elements of it made it successful that feel different this time? And we're basically like, one, reinforcing all the things that work. And it's like my way of showing the couple like, look, you can do this. This is wonderful. This is what we're talking about. And it's sort of like things you can put in your little toolkit as a couple or even as an individual. And it's almost like reverse engineering a really good conflict resolution or reverse engineering a really good weekend. So you don't have to wait for your therapy session to do that. I recommend that everyone, if you had a really good moment and you're like, wow, that worked out really well, sit down, expand on it, explore what about it went really well, and ask yourself, like, what about this can I keep using? What elements of this successful conversation can I apply in other areas of my life? And yeah, bring that to your therapist and celebrate the wins in therapy. And you can spend your entire therapy session just talking about all the wins. I love those sessions just as much as the ones where we talk about what you're struggling with. So that's that. I'm really excited to introduce our guest. Y'all are going to love this. He is a grad student, a writer, and a porn star. I saw that on his, I think, like website or Linktree, one of those things. So please welcome into your hearts, AJ Sloan. Hi.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad you came on. Just a little behind the scenes. AJ and I were supposed to record Thursday, but again, I am not a tech person. I got my master's in social work, not computer work. So I messed up and didn't know what was going on with my tech, and we had to reschedule. So thank you for bearing with me.
That is okay. Here we are.
And here we are. So one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, well, one, actually, let me get your thoughts on what I was just talking about. Bringing in good news for therapy. Do you absolutely disagree with me, or do you find use in that as well? And is that something you've talked about in like classes or school?
Not so much, but actually, when you were saying all of that, it was really hitting home because like the past few sessions with my therapist, I feel I'm just like, yeah, like I'm in a good place. And I think it's really good to like talk about that and discuss that. It's not always about like, oh, we need to fix things or
Right.
yeah, there's problems that exist that we need to correct. Sometimes it's just like, yeah, like let's just examine your emotions or whatnot. So yeah, I don't think that it's always about fixing.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't like to think about my clients as someone that I need to fix anyway. So in moments like that when they're like, "Oh, I feel like really good in my life and here's why." I'm like, "Go off, king or queen." Those end up being such lovely therapy sessions as well. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like having a therapist, like you do say things that you wouldn't say to your friends or your family. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, even if there are things that are just like check-ins or whatnot, like it's nice to hear them out loud and to like bounce them back and hear from a different perspective. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
On your website, it says grad student. Is that because that's like what do you feel like you identify the most with that, or you feel like that's the most, I don't know how to describe it, like the biggest thing in your life right now? Is that why you put that first?
I honestly don't even know which website you're talking
Oh.
about. You touched my link tree in so long, so I should probably update that now that I'm hearing about yeah. But for the past like 2 years, that was my like my main title, I guess. Like
Yeah.
most of my energy went into my studies, my writing, my reading, classes, all that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
what else do I call myself on there?
well, it's
Like,
grad student, writer, and porn star. I feel like that's like pretty well encompassing, I
okay.
would say.
Yeah,
So
writing, yeah, I write a lot currently for the Los Angeles Blade. Porn star, retired, but
retired, more
yeah,
retired.
still a
Okay.
lot of my stuff out there, but yeah, no,
Yeah.
no more haven't done studios for over a year.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously our audiences don't know, but can you share with everyone what you are in school for currently?
Oh yeah, clinical mental health counseling.
Hell yeah. How has that been so far?
It's been a journey. Yeah, it's definitely been difficult at times, enlightening at other times, but it's definitely the path that I firmly believe I should be on.
Hmm. Tell me a little bit about how you made the decision to go into mental health counseling, to go back to school for mental health counseling.
I mean, short answer is porn.
Wait, that's great. Obviously you have to elaborate on that. Yeah. How did
I
porn
mean, yeah,
lead you
so
to the mental health world? I love that.
yeah, it's something that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to get into counseling, but I never really thought it was a realistic goal. Yeah, for most of my adult life, I was an art gallery director.
Mm-hmm.
And like that was a hustle. I would not have had any time for grad school or funding it. But then COVID happened. Yay.
Woo! I'm
So
familiar.
yeah,
I'm
let's just
familiar
say
with
my
her. Yeah.
freelancing lifestyle, I was just like, okay, now I have the funds as well as the time. I was
Hmm.
like, I should do this now before it gets too late.
What made you think that you couldn't do it before? Why did it seem so inaccessible? I mean, I'm obviously finances for sure. I mean, going back to school is not cheap. So I would imagine that was one of the big reasons why. Were there any other reasons why you were like, I don't think this is accessible to me, going back to school, being a therapist?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if I were to talk to my younger self, I would like kick myself in the leg and be like, just fucking make it happen.
Yeah.
But I just didn't think it was realistic at the time.
Did you think you were
Yeah.
like not suited for it or cut out for it, or did you think like, oh, I don't know if I have it in me to go back to school for it, or was it really just like the inner critic being like, who the fuck do you think you are? Don't even try it.
I mean, that's a little harsh, but maybe a softer version of that inner critic. But yeah, I never even considered grad school being like in the cards for me.
And so now here you are. Now you're officially
Yeah.
a grad student. And
Ooh.
looking back, you're like, oh, like this was totally accessible to me. Like now you're in that headspace where you're like, oh, actually, that was silly of me to think in the first place.
Oh, 100%. I think that was silly of me to think in the first place, but I also have a sense of the fact that I think I'm doing it at the right time in my life.
What makes you say that? I agree with that. I find timing to be fascinating. And so that's why I rarely push clients to like, I'm using air quotes, you obviously no one can see, but like get something done like now. I'm more like, you'll get it done when you get it done. Like when you decide it's time for you to do the thing, then you'll do the thing. So I agree. I think timing is really fascinating. But what makes you say that now? Why do you think this time is like, nope, this was the right time?
I mean, first of all, finances, going back to that. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I'm a completely different person. Not completely. I'm a very different person than who I was 10 years ago. And I feel like going into this grad program, I was like, ooh, like, am I too old for this? Like, I'm in my mid
Right.
30s. But it was interesting because I feel, and I can't speak for all programs, but I feel like the median age in my program is probably like 50. There's a lot of people in
No
like their 50s.
way. Oh, that's so great to hear. Like career changers, like people that are like, fuck my
Yeah.
lawyer
It
job
just
or
froze a little
whatever.
bit. Can you slow? I
Okay.
feel like it's just interesting to see people that are like even older than me by a decade, or some of them are 2 decades older or whatnot. But yeah, just like making this drastic professional shift in their life. Like I feel like for me, it can be overwhelming, or it was overwhelming at times. But then it's kind of reassuring and inspirational to see older people, yeah,
So
doing the
the
same thing that I'm doing.
so the
And
meet
of course, there's younger people too.
yeah, of course. I'm sure there's like little like 20 something year old whippersnappers that went right from undergrad to grad school. Right? Yeah.
Me as a younger whippersnapper, as you call it, nerd. I don't. Looking back, I mean, I guess I could have, but yeah, I feel much more comfortable knowing that I'm doing this now in my life with the experiences that I've had.
Yeah, I felt similarly in my cohort. It was, I would say, it was a pretty wide range. Like you just talked about, everyone from folks like in their late 40s and 50s to folks that like did not take a break between undergrad and grad school. So they were like in their early 20s and everyone in between. So I was in my late 20s. And even then, I thought like, oh gosh, I'm quote unquote late to the game because there were so many,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say so many, but there were enough people in my class that I'm like, damn, like you're telling me that by this age, I could have been practicing, like by the age that I am now, seeing people 21, 22 go into the program. So yeah, I had similar thoughts where I was like, oh, I could have done this sooner. But to your point, I feel like I came with like the experience that I had at that age helped me out for sure. So I don't regret it, but I was like, it would have been nice to like have the private practice, I don't know, 4 years sooner. Like that's just like 4 years of like more financial stability. That's like really it. But yeah, it was also helpful for me to see folks like in their 50s. I found it to be like not inspirational. That feels a little too infantilizing, but more like, oh, good. Yeah. Everyone's just trying to like figure this out. Like, and it doesn't even matter if you think your path is one thing and then you go back to school to do another. Like seeing that was helpful, that you could just like, you could change your mind if you want. So even if I figure it out, I don't know, later on that I didn't want to be a therapist, I thought I could, okay, I'll figure something else out. So it was like helpful for me to see people course correcting or pivoting in their life. Are there actually a lot of career changes in your program that you're aware of? Like folks that started out in one industry and now they're going into mental health?
Oh yeah, honestly, I don't talk with the other students too much about our personal lives,
Yeah.
but there was the one woman who was in marketing. She is around 50.
Mm-hmm.
So she's transitioning from marketing. She loved putting together slideshows.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah,
She was probably
then
so good at like
another-
PowerPoint presentations.
yeah, she was aggressive about it, but less work for me. Yeah, there's a handful of people that like in like the, what do you call it? The side rooms on Zoom when it's just like smaller groups. Kind of open up. One was a nurse, or still is a nurse, and switching into
Oh, wow.
mental health counseling.
So much schooling. Yeah. That's so
And
fast.
then there's this one weirdo that's transitioning from the world of pornography into mental health counseling.
This one
He's pretty
weirdo.
cool, though. Yeah.
Now, wait, you said earlier that porn, to some degree at least, had to do with you switching into mental health? Is that like, was it something specifically in porn, or did you just mean like you were tired of
simply just time and money.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. No more 9 to 5, more money than the art world.
Yeah, I would imagine. Now, so tell me what led you to doing porn. How did that happen? Because I feel like people have there's all this mythology, I like to call it, around porn. Some of it not so great, some of it kind of stigmatizing and not nice. I feel like other types that I hear, like mythology around it, is very like idealized or like romanticized. And in my head, I'm thinking it's probably somewhere in the middle, like parts of it that are whatever, cool or fun or interesting, and other parts that are just like, I don't know, it's the hustle, it's the grind. It's like, it's work, it's a job. So tell me, what led you into doing porn? How did that happen?
Well, I feel like referring to that as mythology makes it sound very glamorous. I would say that there's a lot of prejudice and assumptions when it comes to
Fair.
people who are out of the industry looking at it or, yeah, making assumptions. Yeah, so over COVID, at the beginning of COVID, I was working with two galleries, and both of them obviously closed here in New York, Soho on the Lower East Side. But for, I want to say like 7 or 8 months, I just was like doing what everyone else was doing during quarantine, which was like a whole lot of like learning new hobbies. And I was biking around New York a lot. And yeah, after some time, a friend of mine who had moved to Spain, she convinced me that that was the right thing to do at the time. And
To move to Spain?
yeah, I moved to Valencia for a while and then Barcelona. But right before I moved from New York to Spain, I started an OnlyFans, like so many other gays. Yeah, and it was right at the end of my year in Spain. I was just like doing a lot of solo stuff, like some collaborations, but mostly solo stuff and having fun with it. But yeah, so my second half was of my time in Spain was in Barcelona. And for anyone who doesn't know, like all the big porn stars of Europe mostly congregate in Barcelona and live there.
Really? Is that because it's like so, I don't know, beautiful or pretty, or what's the draw you think for everyone?
Pretty. They are beautiful and pretty. My life in Barcelona was beautiful and pretty, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's just where and like not just the actors, but like a lot of the cinematographers. Tim Tales, rest in peace. He lived it, like if you've seen those films,
I am familiar. I am very familiar.
Yeah, he's like, oh, the scenes are always on like the rooftop, and the market that I went to was right below there.
Okay, yeah, interesting, gotcha.
Jim, he's great.
Wait,
like,
I had no idea. So all of the Tim Tales stuff was in Barcelona. I had no idea. I guess I wasn't really thinking about it. I was thinking about other things, but when watching his content. But was all of that was in Barcelona that he was filming?
You don't think of geography? I mean, from what I have seen, I'm not extensively familiar with his body of work. I have never worked with him.
Okay.
It was near the end of, I think it was moving back to the States 2 weeks after this, but what was it? Christian Bjorn. I don't know if you know Christian.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know him personally, but I'm familiar with his work too, of course.
I think that Christian Bjorn is like a collective, but
yes.
Yeah, they who was it? Gosh, I forget which porn star it was, but they sent my phone number along to them, and they had contacted me on WhatsApp, and they were like, yeah, do you want to make an actual porn scene? And I was like, ooh, this is like a great way to round out my year in Spain and I don't know, knock that off my bucket list. And it was so fun. Like working with Christian Bjorn, because I worked with them again a year later. And yeah, like just sweethearts.
And technically, that's a studio, right? It's not an individual, but the Christian Bjorn studio is what you're referring to, right? Or the production company or something like that. Right. Okay.
So that was my first studio job.
Not too shabby.
Only studio job, but then Los Angeles happened, and yeah.
What made that first job such a positive experience for you?
The other model was, I mean, first of all, he was super sexy, super sweet. It was just like a really chill afternoon of fucking.
Yeah. Can I say yeah. Imagine I was like, no, we're going to have to bleep that out. This is a children's podcast, so I don't know why you're saying that. No, you're good.
I mean, with the way this country is going, I wouldn't be surprised if you censor some things out in order to keep your podcast alive. Yeah. And gosh, I feel terrible. I'm trying to remember the videographer's name, but the second time I worked with them, I just texted him like, hey, I'm in Barcelona. Like, you want to grab lunch or coffee? And he's like, yes, and let's shoot a porno. I was like, yeah. In general, good people.
Yeah. So it's sort of, I mean, would it be fair to say that it kind of fell on your lap? doing porn that like
all over my face
all
and many other areas.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was definitely not planned or intended. So yeah, I moved from Spain. My visa expired sadly, and so I was going to just hop over to Los Angeles and visit my friend Nicole, who was living in Santa Monica at the time with her
Hmm.
husband.
Shout out Nicole.
Yeah, Nicole. And yeah, so I was gonna see them for like a month and then finally go back home to New York. And when I was there, like very quickly, an agent contacted me and they're like, "Hey, like we saw your Christian Bjorn stuff.
Hmm.
Like, would love to get you more work." And I was like, "Oh, this is interesting." And I'm like,
Right.
"Yeah, I like to say yes." And yeah, I was at that point. I'm like, "How far can I take this?" And more and more studio work fell into my lap.
And I mean, I'm assuming also too what helped was like, oh, good, like more work is presenting itself, and now I can enjoy more financial stability that comes with that.
Yeah, and also like in LA, like so like moving to Spain, one of the reasons I moved there was because it was so much cheaper than New York
Totally,
City.
totally, yeah.
Mhm. And in LA, I was making very nice money, but also like paying, I think it was like 1,100 a month for
Hmm.
like rent. That was like it was a nice spot. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I knew I didn't want to do it forever
Hmm.
because I already feel like I'm getting old.
You're
And I
aging
know that there's
out.
a lot of guys that are like in their 50s and
Hmm.
some are in their 60s that are like just do it like who have just evolved into like daddy,
Right.
whatever, like
Category, yeah,
yeah. I didn't want to be doing this like forever,
yeah.
but I definitely enjoyed the ride.
How had it been, or has it been, disclosing the fact that you've done porn to either friends or family or even dates, or how have those conversations been typically for you? Are you like super discerning about who you mention that to? What's your, I guess, like policy around that?
I don't know if I have a policy. I mean, all of my friends and most acquaintances like already know,
Hmm.
like genuinely just like don't care, like it's a job.
Right. Right. I remember when you told me, I was like so happy for you. It just sounds like such
Thank
a, it just
you.
sounds like, from the very little that I know, it just sounds like you get to exercise so much agency and autonomy. It's like being your own, honestly, like having a private practice kind of. I don't know. You have to like do your own business. Like you have to do all of that. Like
100%.
I had to build my own website. I had to do my own promotion. I had to be like, hey, I'm taking clients. I'm taking clients. And so there's a lot of that that felt similar to me. And so whenever someone's like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this thing like kind of on my own, I'm like, oh, you better fucking work. That's like, because it is a lot of work. So I was like ecstatic and proud of you to like figure that out, especially during COVID.
When did we hang out when I told you? Was that, I think, after I moved back to New York?
After you moved back is when we, yes, is when we hung out again. But I don't remember exactly what I was thinking, but I
Like,
remember
I miss
thinking
you, I
like,
love
yeah,
you.
yeah, where have you been all my life? But I was like, wait, where are you? Like, because I hadn't seen you around. Oh, and I think maybe it was through social media. It was through something that I was like, wait, I don't think AJ's in New York anymore. So I was just kind of like trying to figure out like, where did everybody go? Because I wasn't seeing anybody. So yeah.
Yeah. This is not you, but you just made me remember, and you're asking about how I have like how the conversation goes when I tell people, but there are so many like exes or like former like gay acquaintances that like message me like, "Oh, I've seen your work now," blah blah blah, blah. And like it's I don't know. It's like they want to like shoot their shot, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, if we dated or fucked in the past and like we no longer do, like nothing's changed.
Right.
So like I'm sorry that like I am now entertaining this fantasy of yours that I didn't prior, but
I mean, I guess that's what it is, huh? It's like this like fantasy about hooking up with someone that does porn. Is that like that sort of
uh,
thing?
there's someone like I've gotten a few, not a few, like on Grinder specifically. Yes, I've Grinder. Someone said something like, "Oh, I don't think that I can hook up with you you're professional and I don't want to disappoint you. I'm just like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
self-esteem,
I
brother.
know. Maybe he could be your client once you're fully licensed and you can help him find his self-esteem. That is,
We're firm to you.
yeah. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Thank you. Oh, that makes me sad that he thought that he would disappoint you. How did you respond to that, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't think I did. And if I did, it was probably something like super
Yeah.
sarcastic, but
Yeah. I feel like,
never know until you try. I don't know.
yeah, you never know until you try. What are some of the more common assumptions that people make that you've heard or witnessed that are totally wrong?
That I just love sex.
Right. Okay.
And like I feel like this is a pretty across the board one when I have conversations with other people in the industry.
And that,
Yeah,
like that, you love it so much, you're just constantly looking for it and
yeah,
doing
seeking it out
Yeah,
or
yeah.
like accepting dick pics or whatever. And
Right.
it's like, no, like I didn't ask for that.
Yeah.
It's amazing like how many people shoot their shot like on my Twitter or Instagram, and like it's like all my links are here. Clearly, these social media platforms of mine are only here like to draw people to my paid
Right.
sites, pages or whatnot. So the fact that you like, I just want your money. I don't need to know your name. I don't need like, I don't
Right.
need to know that you exist. Only your, like,
Please just subscribe. I don't need an unsolicited dick pic, basically.
yeah. I feel like it's kind of like if you like go to a restaurant and you're just like, oh my God, chef, whatever. I love your food. Give me a sandwich. Just like, no,
Oh, right.
and like you sit at a table, like,
No, yeah,
yeah.
and you pay and you tip and you do all of that. Yeah, I hear that often too. So I mean, one of the I think important takeaways is even porn stars, retired or otherwise, want consent. Consent is very, very important. An unsolicited dick
I
pic.
don't think that's just porn stars. I think
Yeah, that's everyone across the board for sure.
self-respecting, healthy person requires consent.
Yeah. But the assumption, as I understand it, is like, oh, they're always looking for it, so I don't have to ask for consent. They're game for whatever it is, which is not true, people. So
stop sending like you know what your dick looks like, and if you know it's not impressive, then don't send it to me. Like I'm not gonna get an LOL at best. Like just stop it. Sure that you have virtues and qualities outside of your focus on those.
focus on your values. Focus on that. Yeah. What's been some of the more pleasant, or I guess I'll ask you this first, any surprises that come to mind when you think about your career in porn? Was there anything that was surprising to you that you were like, oh my gosh, like I didn't know that, or I wasn't aware that, that this was a thing? And it can be pleasant surprises. It doesn't have to be like grim or dark ones.
I feel like the first one that comes to mind is, oh my gosh, I didn't know that I can be a porn star.
Oh yeah, I guess that's that's good to know.
I'm on set right now with the crew. I'm gonna fuck this dude.
Yeah.
That was definitely a surprise. Gosh, so I can only obviously speak from my own experience. I feel like, and also like coming from like the New York art world where people can be driven by ego and not the most considerate folks.
No.
And I do think it was like, for the most part, the opposite is true in the adult industry. And I do think that that's kind of, I mean, like, there's such a blatant level of vulnerability. And so I feel like we all understand that, like, we're all putting ourselves out there and we want to make each other feel as comfortable as possible.
Right.
And it does take a certain type of person to, like, do porn.
For
and
sure.
I feel like, body positive for the most part again.
Yeah.
And like no shaming and like just like being very supportive of each other on set. Yeah.
What does it take if someone was like, oh, I'm interested in doing porn? Like, what are the qualities I should have? Or how would I psychologically prepare for that? Like, what does it take for someone to be able like do it and do it well? Obviously.
Knowing your angles.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah.
And also, like, just like you said, psychologically, if you're going in there with like self-doubt, or like, oh gosh, does my hair look all right?
Yeah.
Or, oh, like, can I stay hard for 3 hours?
Right.
Or I hope they like me. Like all these like things just chip away, and you really just have to go in with like a clear mind, and yeah,
Does it
it
help?
becomes like stamina. Like
Right.
yeah,
Do you think it helps to view it solely as a job? Is that part of what you think helps, or might that get in the way sometimes?
I do. I have worked with a lot of people that like will say like it's work, it's work, it's work, and I feel like in my life, excuse me, I've been fortunate enough to usually find work that like I'm not going to take any job or
Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah.
Like when I was younger, I started working in the art world. That I realized after many years of doing that I didn't want to do it
Mm.
forever. Switched to porn. I'm a writer now. Like I'm not working at Starbucks. I'm not working on Wall Street. Like
Right.
I know what I do, what I don't like. So yeah, like and with porn. So I feel like I was enjoying it a lot,
Hmm.
and but like my focus switched over to grad school, and I wanted to put my time and energy more in that.
Tell me
So
about how you got into writing more, because now you're writing for like publications. You're not writing on your Tumblr, which is totally fine if you were, but it sounds like that is picking up speed.
I don't even know what Tumblr is.
I'm gonna kill you. Are you too young?
Tumblr,
You're too
Tumblr is like the
young.
one that I remember they people used to like wank on it or something. It was like basically Twitter.
Yeah, but you could put like pictures, it wasn't on your phone. It was like on your desktop. You could put like it was almost like MySpace. It was more MySpacey.
Oh my God. MySpace. I never had that.
Okay, we're moving on. How did the
Anyways,
writing?
wait. Going back to your question. Oh, writing. Do you know fleshbot.com?
Yes.
It's like the like porn and pop culture
Uh
website,
huh.
and I think it was started in the 90s.
Oh, I didn't
Um,
know had been around for so long.
yeah, like MySpace.
How dare you?
Anyways, they hit me up out of the blue and they're like, "Hey, can you write a health and wellness column from a porn star's point of view?" And like very bluntly, I will not say no to any opportunity, especially when money's involved.
For sure.
So yeah, of course I can. So I started pumping up with AJ Sloan, and that was really fun. Like I do love writing, and also I am not a personal trainer.
Hmm.
So I did a lot of research for the articles, and I learned a lot about fitness and
Okay.
exercise and yeah, all that jazz. And yeah, they liked that article. After a few weeks or months, I can say curse words, right?
Absolutely.
I started writing "fucking" with AJ Sloan for Fleshbot, and that was yeah, mostly entertaining stories. I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Sometimes like the psychology of eaters or like daddies
Uh huh.
or
Uh huh.
coaching or whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're
So
like the gay porn Carrie Bradshaw.
I've heard that so many times.
Well, it's the only reference that exists.
So many times. AJ screening room where I just like wrote about any gay flick I like.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw that one. Uh huh. Uh huh. Uh huh. And
they
so
told me they asked me if I would do a red, white, and royal blue, and I was just like, you have to pay me more for that. I'm not watching that.
I liked it. It was
Good for
cute.
you.
It was
You're even
cute.
successful, and I'm not part of it. Queer history or something like that.
Okay. Gotcha.
Just Poppers was cool. Most things that we used to get off with nowadays started in the medical field.
Not
Yeah.
surprisingly. Okay. And so it's tapping into your creative side and academic side, the writing. It sounds like you're having to do research, obviously, but
Light research.
there's also an element of it where you again it taps into the creative part of you.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say it taps. I mean, yeah, I don't think it really taps into the academic side. Some of the stuff I've written recently for the Los Angeles Blade, like a few maybe, because I like talk about like the psychology of like a queer Trump supporter.
Yeah.
But like that's more recent. I think for a while it was just like I would say my interests because I was only writing about stuff that I liked.
Right.
Like sometimes I have to do interviews, and those can be fun. Those can be interesting, but yeah, most of the time I like to, not most of the time, I do like writing my own stuff for the things that I pitch.
Right. Who or who is one of the folks you really loved interviewing?
Alyssa Edwards.
Tell me about that.
I learned a lot. I'm not a huge RuPaul's Drag
Okay.
Race viewer. I to see behind the curtain a little bit. I'm not going to share too much because
Yeah.
I'm sure that they'll come after me if I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah. What was it
it was
about?
just interesting because
Yeah.
like we see these queens and like even when they're on the I don't know what you call it, the confessional like
Right. That
thing,
where it's just their head, like shoulder
they're
up.
still like in a like they're still performing
Right.
like
Right.
they're still on the TV
Yes.
show.
Yeah.
So it's just cool to like see like the like casual like real behind the scenes nature that yeah
Is that what
they're
you interviewed her about mostly? Her time on Drag Race?
no I mean yeah I mean her career in general but
Mm-hmm.
she performed at the Out Loud Music Festival. Anya Nerve was there, Lizzo. Yeah, so any like interview assignments I get with the Blade is usually to promote something upcoming.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. On TV, she always comes across Alyssa as like just like so funny, so witty, so sharp.
Mhm.
Is it one of those things where it's like, yep, what you see is what you get? Or
Oh, 100%. And I also, again, like I'm not a huge viewer of the show, but I assume that they're a bit like they're in a competition. So, and like from what I have seen, like they can be cunty or they get edited down to appearing as cunty,
right.
which is highly entertaining. But my experience with her, she was just so like real and kind and
Mm-hmm.
authentic and just like super supportive of like, yeah, the queer community. Read the interview.
Yeah.
It's on my Instagram.
Oh, that's so good. That's a good one. That's like a very well known. I feel like even a lot of straight people know who Alyssa Edwards is, mostly because of like her dance studio. I think like she had a show where she was running a dance studio, kind of like it was like Dance Moms, but
But Dancing Queen.
oh yeah, Dancing Queen, right. So I feel like a lot of people in mainstream, a lot of straight people know who she is as well. Like she's
I think that was like almost rehearsed, but like that's I have no idea what's in that box. It's for my wish list, but it's a really big one. So I'm assuming it's
oh, exciting. Oh, wait, a wish list. That's I think I saw that too. A link to your wish list so folks can, who are fans of yours, do they expect anything in return or do they get satisfaction knowing like that they like made you happy?
I mean, like it's there's one that is I just like don't really indulge in the request
Hmm.
because like, I'm not a gumball machine. So like
Right.
they'll message me a screenshot of like something that they got off my wish list, and then they'll be like, "Can you send Daddy a pic?" And I'm just like, "Thanks so much," and I just ignore the
The
request.
request, the last part. Do you think that your experience in porn will help you as a therapist? I think it can, but I'm wondering if you've thought about that.
I think in many ways, I feel like I don't. Will I say anything that I will regret? And but no, I think that going back to vulnerability, yeah,
Yes.
like in both porn and mental health, you obviously need to respect and appreciate vulnerability.
Right.
Yeah, that's the
And like respect and like how to create a comfortable environment. So like you'd have to be able to read a room.
collaborative relationship, working with
Right. And I feel like there's a lot of folks that do various types of sex work, whether it's like solo stuff on Instagram or studio, big budget studio productions that could really use a therapist that special to some degree specialized in doing sex work. You know what I mean? I think it's the same reason why
yeah.
a lot of gay people go to a gay therapist. It's like, I don't want to necessarily explain like what grinder is or whatever. And so I would imagine that there's a similar need for that in mental health.
Although we do love explaining poppers to our straight friends. Yeah, I was going to ask, do you know what the Pineapple Project is? I know it's in California. I want to say San Francisco.
Okay, no, I'm not familiar.
I don't want to butcher this. I don't know. Google it later. But the Pineapple Project, I first heard about them when I was working with Fleshbot, and there was a collaboration. I want to say it's the Miss Pineapple pageant, but it
Okay.
is a fundraiser where performers, do a drag competition,
Oh,
and it's
okay.
in WeHo, and it's cool. not in drag, and I think I wore like a t-shirt and jeans, so that's cool.
Uh-huh.
Everyone else is glammed out, all Hollywood style. But that's when I first heard about them. But they specifically offer services, mental health services, and other things to the sex working community.
Oh, good.
And
Oh, I didn't know
yeah,
about that.
I love their mission. I don't think that there's anything comparable like that or as straightforward
Right.
for that specific population here on the East Coast.
Yeah, no, I'm not aware. I'd like to think that there is some kind of organization that specializes in it. I'm not aware of. Yeah, I'm not aware of it. Not to that scale of this like is it a competition? Yes, it's a drag competition. You said, right? And they raise money.
Yeah, that's just a fundraiser for
the yes. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, yeah. I'm not aware. I do know that there's a website called Manhattan Alternative. And it's basically a directory like Psychology Today where you can, through various drop-down menus, select the kind of therapy and therapist you're looking for. And they do, in their drop-down menu, they do have one that says like for sex workers or therapists that are familiar with sex work. Manhattan Alternative. And the therapists, and the therapists aren't just in Manhattan. So don't let that fool you. It's the whole country. So it's again, a directory that has therapists from all over, from California to New York and everything in between. So yeah, check it out. Anyone that's interested. Yeah, they have a lot of ways where you can like find a very specific kind of therapist based on your needs or the kind of treatment you're looking for or whether they take insurance or not. So I usually tell folks to check that out. That's like pretty useful.
Well, there you have it, listeners. Definitely look into the Pineapple Project, the West Coast, and Manhattan Alternative.
There we go. So one question that I like to ask all my guests is, what is one piece of advice or a piece of wisdom that you got from the therapy world? So this can be a piece of advice or something that you got from your own therapist, or this can be something that you read in a book, or maybe this is something you learned from a therapist's Instagram account or TikTok. That's something that you were like, you know what? I'm going to take this with me everywhere I go. I love this nugget of wisdom.
One thing that I personally have to remind myself, that I do remind myself of quite often, almost daily, is no one else is critiquing me as much as I am. And I feel like a lot of people in social situations, that's like a constant buzz in their brain. But when you actually start like step back from that feeling and realize that everyone else is busy doing the same thing and no one's looking at your hair or the last sentence that you said that you wish you didn't stutter or choose. It's like, just relax.
Yeah, take it easy. No one's judging you nearly as harshly as you are judging yourself, essentially. Yeah. And that everyone's in their own mind, kind of like you said, doing the same thing, thinking about like, oh, did that sound weird? Am I sitting weird? Do I look okay? Everyone else is doing the exact same thing to various degrees. I'm also assuming that helps like in any scenario. I mean, not just like with school or writing or porn, but just like every like day to day life. Just like daily life, like going to the grocery store.
Not a hermit,
yeah, exactly. Oh, well, thank you so much for joining me and for having a little chit chat and for doing the unboxing. That was my first unboxing on the podcast, so I'm really excited. Those are really good gifts. Now I'm like, should I start our wish list? No, those are really, really good gifts. Where can people find you? Where can people find your work? Where can folks, get more of you?
Instagram, AJ Sloan X. That's AJSLOANX. And from there, you can see links to all my writing, all my not writing creative endeavors.
Yeah, and check, especially the writing that you do when you talk about your own experiences and you talk about, you like share stories. I highly recommend those as well. Those are, it's all well written, but I really enjoy when you're like talking about like, this is what I went through. This is what I experienced. So here's a funny story. So definitely check out all his work. Not just the visual stuff. The writing stuff is pretty good too. So
yeah, and also I've literally heard from a lot of people that they've gotten off to some of my articles. A lot of the fucking so, hey, hey, like you can still be horny and not
And literary.
not pursue my video work,
Yeah. Horny and literary. We love it.
.com and yeah.
Well, thank you all for joining this episode. This podcast, please remember, is no substitute for good old-fashioned therapy. So take what's useful, leave the rest, and don't forget, therapy makes you hotter. Bye.